The judging stare, have you ever felt watched, even when you were alone at home, maybe in the middle of the night, or during that moment when all you wanted was to quietly watch your favorite series? But then, something moved in the dark. You turned, and there he was, your cat, motionless, staring at you with those half-closed, piercing, judgmental eyes, as if analyzing your every move, as if you were the prey, and he, the predator. Some would say this is normal, that it's just typical feline behavior. Others might say it's disguised love. But what if I told you that? Maybe, just maybe, your cat is a sociopath disguised as a domestic companion. And no, this is not an exaggeration. There is a field of study within animal psychology called ethology, which seeks to understand the behavior of different species, including domestic cats. And the truth is, the more scientists observe cats, the more disturbing behaviors they discover. According to a study published in the Journal of Comparative Psychology, analyzed personality traits of more than 2,000 domestic cats and found behavioral patterns that resemble traits from the dark triad of human psychology, which includes narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. But before you go around accusing your Garfield of being a miniature sociopath, let's slow down. There are 5 main signs, and if your cat shows at least 3 of them, it might be time to reconsider who's really in control of your home. Sign 1. The unblinking, expressionless stare. You know that look, the one your cat gives you when you spill food on the floor, or when you call him and he simply ignores you, like your existence is completely irrelevant. The stare of a cosmic judge, eternal, unmoved, indifferent to your presence in the universe. According to researcher Dr. Rebecca Evans from the University of Liverpool, this behavior of unblinking staring is linked to predatory vigilance or manipulation. She explains, cats don't stare just out of curiosity. The act of staring is a form of control. It says, I see you. I know where you are, and I'm in charge. And there's something almost human about that coldness, as if behind those feline eyes, there's a calculating brain, evaluating whether it's worth keeping you alive or not. As if the cat silently whispers, you're useful. For now, what's most unsettling is that they often do this while pairing, which brings us to the second sign. Sign 2. Conditional affection. Picture this, your cat rubs against you, purrs, jumps onto your lap, lies down, starts kneading your chest with his little paws. It feels like love, right? It seems affectionate, but the moment you stop scratching his ear, a bite, or a fluffy smack, or simply abandonment. According to an article from the University of Sussex, this type of behavior is common among cats, but it also reveals something deeper. The use of affection as a manipulative tool. Cats domesticated humans, not the other way around, and they use purring and affection as reward triggers, shaping your behavior without you even noticing. In practice, your cat is training you. Every purr is like a coin tossed into a vending machine. He gives you a little love and expects you to deliver food, comfort, warmth, or all of the above. Dr. Kara McComb, an ethologist and expert in animal communication, states that a cat's purring has evolved to include frequencies similar to the crying of human babies, and that this activates an instinctive caregiving response in the human brain. In other words, your cat has learned to simulate vulnerability to get what he wants. Isn't that a classic sociopathic tactic?
Sin 3. Sudden attacks without apparent cause. You're walking around the house, minding your own business, when suddenly, bam, a swipe at your ankle, or worse, you're on the couch, with your cat seemingly asleep on your lap, and out of nowhere, he wakes up, stares at you, and bites your hand with surgical precision, then goes back to sleep like nothing happened. According to Dr. Elizabeth Stello from the Department of Veterinary Behavioral Medicine at the University of California, these sudden attack behaviors may be related to redirected aggression, but are also strongly linked to a trait known as absolute territorial control. Sociopathic cats don't attack out of fear or defense. They attack to assert dominance. These are theatrical acts of power demonstration, small punishments to remind you that you are not in control. These attacks often come with cold facial expressions, no vocalization, an immediate withdrawal, demonstrating a lack of empathy, and in psychology, that's a classic behavioral marker of sociopathic tendencies in humans. And the most intriguing part, many owners laugh at these attacks, think they're cute or quirky, without realizing they're being constantly placed in a state of psychological submission by a four-legged being who acts without remorse. Sign 4. Power games with other animals. If you have more than one pet at home, You've probably seen your cat staring down the family dog as if he were a lesser being or worse. You've witnessed the classic scene. The dog happily playing with a toy, and the cat shows up out of nowhere, snatches the toy and lies down on it, just because he can. This isn't just typical feline behavior. This is silent domination, a subtle and highly effective form of social control. Animal psychologist Dr. Nicholas Dodeman from Tufts University points out that sociopathic cats tend to develop behaviors similar to hierarchical predators, even in environments where there's no real need for competition, like homes with abundant food and guaranteed attention. In other words, the behavior serves no practical function. It serves a psychological one, to keep all other animals in the house in a constant state of alertness or submission. They act like miniature tyrants and use their silence as a weapon. They don't bark, they don't growl, they don't make a scene. They just stare, take, and win. And if you think it stops there, just wait for the fifth and most chilling sign of all. Sign 5. Cold intelligence and strategic planning. Your cat seems to disappear whenever it's bath time, but shows up exactly when it's time to knock over your new vase. He knows where the food is kept. He knows how to open doors, or at least how to wait until you forget to close them. These behaviors aren't random. They are the result of constant observation and cold learning, exactly like what sociopathic humans do in complex social environments. In an experiment conducted by Kyoto University scientists, tested cats' ability to predict the location of hidden prey using only sound, and the results were shocking. Cats were able to deduce where the sound source was, even without seeing the object, demonstrating advanced spatial reasoning. But it goes further. Dr. Dennis Turner, one of the world's leading experts on feline behavior, wrote cats exhibit cognitive abilities compatible with advanced planning and problem solving, especially when motivated by emotional or material rewards. So if your cat knocks your mother's plant off the shelf, it wasn't an accident. It was a calculated, cold, possibly vengeful decision. And here comes the uncomfortable question: what happens when a highly intelligent, emotionally detached, and physiologically superior mind lives inside your house, being fed by you every day?